Okay, so you want me to use this. Hey guys, I am using the Glam palette, and this is the newest palette from Natasha Denona, and it has the same back where you can pop out the shades and the inside. Very neutral, very smoky, very everyday, but I wanted to film this look that I have on my eye right now. I've been taking a lot of inspiration from a lot of the videos that she's been posting on her channel, and I wanted to recreate some of these today. I already did this eye off camera, kind of pulled her out a little bit towards my brow, and we are going to work on this eye today, and I'm really excited to give it a good try. I need to prime my eyelid, and I'm going to use the Pat McGrath concealer in LM9. Put a couple dabs on my eye, 2 on the bottom here, and I'm just gonna grab a big Morphe brush and blend this all in. Inner corner and underneath. And I did not finish the rest of my makeup yet because I wasn't sure if this was going to fall all over my face. What I'm gonna do first is we're going to work with transition and a Morphe brush, and I'm just going to set this down throughout my whole lid and just pat it and set it, because I noticed that when I was putting some of the shades on, it wasn't liking that it was so tacky. Plus this shade works for a lot of different stuff, from blending to setting to whatever. So I'm gonna work with more of the gray tones of the palette. There are pinks as well, and this really neat pop of gold that you wouldn't expect with this palette. So I did take a Morphe liner brush and the shade Lash Line, and I'm going to go from the inner corner, outer corner, but I'm actually taking my liner and I'm actually going to go from the underneath and bring it out a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. Bringing it past my fold that I have, because I do have hooded lids. And then I also brought it onto my lid as well. Filled it in. Kind of sloppy, because I do actually go over this anyways. But since I did it on this eye, I figured I'd do it on the other eye. And it also helped ground the rest of the work. I'm going into the inner corner. And then just pulling this out. I'm going to take a little bit more of that on the same brush, and I'm going to go up this way. This is where I'm going to go into MAC Smolder. It's a kohl liner, and I'm going to tight line my upper and lower. My eyes water all the time when I do this. I have to let it sit and dry for just a second or two here. I mean, you can definitely see that my eye looks a lot longer already. And I'm gonna go in with a Sigma Shader E47 brush. I'm gonna pop in with a little bit more of the Lash Line shade. And I'm just going to diffuse the line on my lid just a little bit. And up here. And from underneath. Very sloppy looking at this moment. It definitely looks a lot better when we keep on moving with it. I'm gonna use a Morphe brush. It does not have anything on here for numbers, but I'm gonna go into Lash Line again, and I'm taking a pretty decent amount of it, and we are going to blend it out, circulars. One some more. Nice thing, we can just clean her up, especially if there's too much. That's a good thing about not doing your makeup before you do a look like this. And I'm going to go in with a Sigma E25 brush, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of smoke, and we are going to blend this out a little bit. Bringing it into the front section by the brow. and try blending out that shade that you were just using. That line does go away a little bit as well, which is all right. Let's pick up a little bit more of smoke on that same brush and bring it below. And then we are going to go in with a Morphe R38 brush, big fluffy brush, not as big as the first one. And we're going to use some of crease, and we are going to use that to blend out the crease. And we're also going to take it below. And then last one I'm going to use is a R38 brush from Morphe and the shade Transition. And we're going to blend out the outer and up through the brow just to soften everything just a little bit. Now this is where the fun part is going to go. I'm going to be using, first shade is Outer Eyelid, which is one of the shimmery shadows. And I like to use my finger for these shadows as well because you definitely get the most payoff for these shades. And I'm just going to tap this right on outer corner and blend it into that outer V. I'm swirling my finger into the pan to make sure that I get maximum payoff, and tapping on some more of that shade and trying to blend that into the lash line as well. Such a pretty shade. The next one I'm going to go into is Center Eyelid, the next lighter shade up, and it is another shimmery shadow as well, or like a creamy shadow, and this one is lighter. This is the outer shade and the inner shade, so you can see outer corner and the center eyelid. And what I'm going to do with that shade is tap it right next to the shadow that we were just placing down, and I'm going to make sure that I bring it up a little bit too, because when I close my eye, I want to make sure that I still see this shadow shade. I'm going to use a little bit more of the outer lid and tap that into that as well so we can blend the two shades together. And then for the inner corner, we are going to use the inner corner shade. And I'm going to use that on my pinky. And this shadow has a lot of payoff. And this shadow is really, really pretty. And we're going to pat this in the inner corner, very soft. And I'm going to go in with a Morphe G19 brush, use a little bit of that shadow shade as well, and we're going to curve the line that I have in the front here just to make sure that my lid is nice and open, and bring her down into the inner corner. Very icy and very pretty. I definitely think that this is a pretty cool palette. What I'm going to do is go in back with the R37 brush with a little bit more of transition, and I'm going to blend this above where I put all of the shimmer shades just to bring some light up here. And then I'm going to go back in with the E47 brush and some of lash line. We are going to deepen up the outer V and just make this a little bit darker through here, just because I felt like a lot of that shade went away. I'm just going to go on the lash line as well. And then I'm going to go back into that Morphe brush with no number with a little bit more of lash line. And we're going to bring that right up here just to deepen up the outer area. This is a really good palette for smoky eyes, and just a few shades you could use for an everyday look too, with a little pop of something in the inner corner or on the lid as well. I am going to use a MAC 242 brush and a little bit of the shade Brow Bone, and we're gonna put the shade on the brow bone just in the center here, just to give an extra little bit of something there, and blend that out just to make sure it's not too intense. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of lash line, and I'm going to use that Morphe brush with no number and blend it out. Bring her down, because I do have some eye bags as well. And then I'm going to use the R38 brush with a little bit of grease and blend that out. And let's pop a little bit of smoke in there too. We're gonna go in with a little bit of mascara. So I'm gonna use the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara. I know this one has been out for a while. I haven't gotten any new mascaras lately, and I feel like I am behind on the game. And we are going to put a bunch of coats of mascara on the lashes. I'm going to go and do the rest of my makeup off camera, and then we will resume and we can talk about my first look with the new Natasha Denona the Glam palette, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. All right guys, so my makeup is done and I just paired this look with a nude lip and a gloss, and I think that this would be perfect to go anywhere with. I put a little bit of blush and bronzer all over my face because you definitely need something with this look. But with the first look for the Natasha Denona the Glam palette, I am very impressed with this. Very good for smoky eyes, but still with that something of pop of glitter. I don't want to say glitter, but it feels like just like a pop of beam. And I love that Natasha Denona is coming out with these little looks here and there for this palette, because I am trying to take some inspiration, because I feel like sometimes I go for the same thing all the time. I am loving this look so much. I want to wear it for the rest of the day. I want to play with more of the pinker side, the pink and like the golds in this palette as well. So we got a center eyelid, the inner, and then there's also this center here, and then the center here. I like this a lot. Definitely a very everyday, and I do recommend it. The palette's 65 bucks, just like the rest of the smaller palettes that she has. The last one I picked up was the bronze palette. Everybody knows, so pretty, really, really good for fall. I have the Love palette, which is the more pink looking, and I could pair this palette with this palette as well. I am absolutely loving it. I didn't think I was gonna pick this up because I do have the Biba palette, which is neutrals, but a lot more matte shades. So this is more of like a warm with the bottom row, more of that cooler. And then I feel that this palette definitely brings in the cool tones. What do you guys think? What do you want to see next on my channel? Please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click that little notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!